What's up, everyone? So today we have still working on my budget Tisas double stack, the B9R, and I thought when I got the gun that I really liked this grip because it wasn't overly aggressive, and I appendix carry it, and so I didn't want it like destroying my stomach. And then after shooting it, I don't know, I like a really aggressive grip, not like stippling. I'm not a huge fan of stippling. I guess there's many different varieties and types, but I just like the factory look of the grips. So I was on Reddit and I read it about the Springfield Prodigy grip module is a direct fit, which it is, and I'll talk about it in a minute. You can't find these grip modules on their website because it's kind of a gunsmith part. So if you want to pause the video, here's the number up top of Springfield customer service, and then here's all the part numbers. Now, I didn't order a 19-pound recoil spring. They might ask you if you want one, but I already had the 17-pound Wolf recoil spring in the mainspring housing, or not recoil spring, mainspring, so I already had that. Now, when you order all these parts, you need to remember that the Tisas grip module is different how they did their mag release. So let me pop this guy out and I'll kind of explain. So if you look how they put that, the I don't know what you would call it, the tumbler that locks it into place, it's in the middle on the Tisas. Well, on most 1911 double stacks and 2011s, it's over here. So you do have to get the mag release. Now, on these part numbers, you'll notice if you look them up, one of them is a spring. Now, when you order the mag release, it comes with the spring installed, but I ordered the lighter pound mag spring catch, so this one is just a little bit of a lighter pound. You won't really have to modify anything. The screws and the little half moon screws on the back, they went right in. The guy on Reddit said you'd have to modify it. I didn't on mine. I don't know if that was an earlier. He had a 5-inch Tisas. The front little pin screw that goes in right there, that went in no problem. But man, I think they call it the shark skin. And in my opinion, it's that happy medium, the Three Little Bears. It's just that happy medium of, it's not overly aggressive, but at the same time, if you've ever held a Prodigy and felt one, it's perfect. I absolutely love it. It's not extremely uncomfortable on my stomach when I'm appendix carrying, but yet you can just really get a firm grip on it, especially when, you're using the traditional hand, your support hand, to get a real solid grip on it. So I went with it. Now, with all of these parts, everything shipped to my door, I want to say it was just around $75, $78 for everything. The top number is the grip module, and then everything you'll need. They're going to try to see if you want to buy these screws. Yeah, this screw and the screw back are $17 each. So you're going to be more in 6 screws, because this comes apart, the 2 on this side and the 2 on the... You're going to be more in just screws than you will for the entire grip module and the mag release and the mainspring housing. Because the Tisas mainspring housing, it will fit, but apparently from what I read, it will take some modifications. And while I was just kind of putting it together, I did notice that, yeah, it would take a little bit of modifications. But these mainspring plastic housings are like $8. So why not? And then that comes with a little pin that goes right there to hold it in. I believe, nope. So I kept the Tisas one was a little bit too fat because I was like, oh, maybe I'll just put this in. So yeah, you will need the pin. So if you just order everything off this, you'll end up with an extra mag catch screw or spring that I just didn't use because I think the factory one's a little bit too stiff. So I ordered the lighter one. That's it. But they're like $2 a piece for the screws. I think the mainspring release is, or not the mainspring, the mag catch release is, I think $10, but everything was under $80 shipped. The only complaint I have now, and I'm going to fix this by ordering an EGW, is look how high the grip safety protrudes. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I will say that it's new, so it's plastic, so don't forget that. If you have to, you know, get some sandpaper and sand here, you can see where it's rubbing. That was actually from that grip module, not this one. But it was a little gritty at first, but I just sat and played with it for a second. Didn't end up sanding anything, didn't modify anything. I just kept doing that over and over and over, and now it's absolutely fine. If you notice right here on the front, it does poke out just a little bit right there. I mean, I'm sure you could sand it down, but I've had this on for about a week now just to kind of get my full thoughts before I made a video about it, but I'm not worried about it. I mean, it's just ever so slightly right there. I'm not worried about it, but I am extremely happy for sub $80. I just think it looks better. That grip module, Springfield did a really good job on that grip module. It doesn't say anything, and like I've said in my previous videos, Gerson, if you're listening, EAA, stop putting everything on the slide. Let the gun do the talking. It doesn't need to say match X, Gerson, blah, blah, blah. Stop. The only thing that this has is the name right there, Knoxville, Tennessee, Tisas, my serial number, and that's it. And then it says under here where you wouldn't say, you know, you wouldn't really see anything. The carry, double stack, Tisas, turkey. But yeah, just let's go back to slick frames, guys, or slick slides. We don't need it to say what the gun is. The guy next to me at the gun range isn't going to be like, whoa, is that a Gerson? You know what? It is. Nobody cares. It's just, that's not too bad putting Tisas right there. A lot of companies do it, but yeah, now it's just subtle. I like the way it looks. I did do a Safety Queens. It is clear, no mag. I did do a Wilson Combat fitted barrel bushing. I lucked out. I have installed a couple of these, and if you've got some sandpaper or some files and you've got a few hours, they are they're fun, but it literally just dropped in and it is snug. So the purpose of the barrel bushing is as the slide's coming back and that barrel tilts. The factory one, you could literally pull this back just a little bit and you can move that barrel up and down, and that's going to affect accuracy up to like 25 yards or so. It's not super crucial, but especially right here, if you lift up your Tisas and you push right here, you'll hear it clicking. You can push that barrel bushing in and out. So I just like the thought of having just a little bit more tighter lockup. I did notice that when I get to that point right there, it is a little bit more snug lockup. Which if you really wanted a tight lockup, then you'd have to change your barrel length down here to like maybe a number 4. But you know, I noticed that it's a lot tighter on the barrel when I push down on it. Before you could just barely feel it move a little bit, but now it's super tight. So yeah, they're like $30. I ordered another one for the Tisas that I built. In fact, I'll show you. So this is the factory barrel bushing. I don't know if you can hear that. You can see it moving. And if you pull the slide back, it's clear. I don't keep loaded guns when I work on them. I mean, you can move the barrel up and down. So up to like 7 yards, you're not really going to notice anything. You're going to stay on target, but it's anything 15, 20, 25 yards. Plus, I wish, again, me on par with the names all over everything. Wilson, get rid of that. I wanted the EGW one, and they were out. They have the match grade ones. You give them the outer diameter of the barrel. Crap, I do not have the package here for that Wilson Combat. But most Tisas barrels, you'll have to measure it, but they are a 0.58 outer diameter. So the outer diameter is this part. And so how I meant when I got lucky is I took this out, tried to put it in here, not going to work. So I ordered another one, exact same 0.58 outer diameter of the barrel, and I'm going to have to fit it on this gun. But I lucked out. It literally just dropped right in, twisted. It's very snug, but it's not, you know, marring the finish up or anything like that. So it just, you can just tell when you pull it back a little bit and all that. I mean, obviously not the in and out it's supposed to, but it's that up and down, and this one is just a little bit more snug. See, so I mean, we're talking tenths of a thousandth. It's not much, but it just makes it feel a little bit more like a more quality slide back. I did order a full length guide rod for this Tisas that I built. I was going to leave it the GI guide rod, but you're not going to notice anything while shooting it. A lot of people say, well, it makes more weight in the front. We're talking ounces. That's not whatever. But I just think it just feels a lot better when you're, you know, fidget spinner and playing with it. It just makes it more smooth. The spring has to compress into that plunger tube right there, and it's just not as smooth. But yeah, small little things. The next video, I'll install a EGW grip safety. Now, like I said, remember, these are the 220 radius. So if you wanted to order one, these are the 220 radius. The Prodigies, the Apollo 11s, the Staccatos, all the other high-end, they use a 250 radius. So they don't come out. So if you go ahead and just jump on and say, I order a grip safety, it doesn't fit. Yeah, you have to make sure you know if you have a 250 or a 220. I actually have somewhere in my mess, I don't know where I put it, just bear with me. I don't know where I put it, dang it. I have a, oh yeah, I do, I don't. So yeah, that's the difference. If you look, these are the 220 radius. So they are a fitted part. You're going to have to fit. You're going to put them in, and all of a sudden your grip safety might be stuck closed because your trigger might be in the way, or the trigger won't work even if you squeeze it like that, because this has to lift up for that trigger bar to come back. So they have to be fitted, but the Evolution Gunworks, they'll sit more flush right here. So kind of like how I did with this one. So when this one goes down, it's more flush. It just feels better in the hand. It's just personal preference. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't feel bad even if you just put the grip module on the way that one is. It just kind of sits right there. But, you know, I guess it's better if you didn't have the best grip or anything like that. It really is pronounced. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys a little update video on the budget, what I've done. I did do the non-ambi safety. I talked about it a little bit in my previous video. These are a solid bar right here, and the ambis are not. They hook together, so it's like a slide that goes like that, and there's always play in them. I don't know if you could tell, but you can almost move one side and then not the other side. So it's fine. It's obviously safe. It's a functioning safety, but the non-ambi ones, they just feel more quality. I don't know, that's just more tactile. And when I'm drawing from a holster, I don't get slapped right there. Doesn't look the best, especially on a 2011 style, double stack style. I think they look a lot better on the single stacks. That's how they came. But it's me, again, it's more performance and my personal preference versus what it looks like to the guy next to me while I'm shooting it at the range. I don't care. I want it reliable, and I want it to function like it's supposed to. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about ordering these. Once again, if you want to pause your screen, that is the number for Springfield. You can go ahead and give them a call. Write down all those numbers. That is a P. I have doctor handwriting, apparently. I just abbreviated all of these things. I've got the actual list somewhere on my phone, but if you just give them those part numbers, they'll tell you exactly what it is, and you don't have to order the extra spring if you want, but it's just a little bit lighter. But I mean, I will say that Springfield, you can do better on your mag releases. It is super gritty. These out of the box, they're just a lot more sleek move. The Springfield has the ribs, and I know people have complained that these are just flat without any ribbing. I don't care personally. I don't know how you would. Oh man, I was gonna mag release, but my thumb slipped because I didn't have any grips on it. Now it doesn't matter. The Staccato C2, they are flush like that. They don't have any texture on them. So yeah, if you want to do a Springfield Prodigy grip module on your Tisas 4-inch, 5-inch, whatever, I did notice just ever so slightly, it doesn't quite fit on the bottom like the factory one does. It just kind of covers up this, but we're talking almost nothing. No one's going to notice it. But yeah, like I said, I didn't have to modify anything. It slid right on. Food for thought. Just another mod you can do for budget. I mean, sub $100, you can get an entire grip module with the mainspring housing and the pin. And those parts do come with little plungers that go in here, but you could also reuse. So if you wanted to save money, you wouldn't have to order the little plunger that's in there. You don't have to order that. You could just reuse the ones from the Tisas because they're the same. I just ordered everything because I just wanted this complete together like this, and you don't need to order the new pin, the mainspring pin. The factory one will fit just fine in the Prodigy. And that way, if you ever did order things for the Prodigy, like a holster. So I had my tier 1 holster made for the Tisas, and it fit fine. I mean, it did. It fit perfectly snug. It wasn't floppy. It went right in. But now with this, because it was made for that gun, minus the stupid small pick rail that Tisas did, and now they came out with their brand new one a month after I bought this one, it fits better in the holster because this part right here is what retains in the holster. So, I mean, it's almost not even really noticeable, but I do notice that it does fit in the holster a lot better. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Comment, like. For sub $100, can't go wrong. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all the new subscribers. If you've been watching my shorts at Salt City Machining, man, we've been going like crazy. We just did a Springfield 10mm, and it was no joke. We had to make so many different jigs to hold that barrel to make that cut, but customer's happy. It turned out great. He absolutely loves it, so I'll keep bringing some content. We just cut a Sig Shadow C2 for SRO RMR cut yesterday, and we got it to within, I would say, 0.2 of a thou. Perfect. I mean, if you watch my short putting it on, it was, if you're not perfectly 90 going down, it won't fit, and that's what you want. We also did the lug cut, so it's not just completely flat right here. We left little plugs that kind of stick up like that, so the optic not only has the front little legs, but then it has these. We cut my Glock 19 that way. I've got well over 2,500, 3,500 rounds through that gun, and I didn't even Loctite my optic. Not saying you shouldn't. It was an experiment to test those lugs, and it just fit right on. Tighten the screws, a few thousand rounds through it, and it's still just as tight as the day I put it on. So kind of a bonus. You want these as tight as possible. You don't want any, light protruding through back there, but they have to leave them a little bit. They have to leave some thousandths there just in case what optic you run, because they're all different. But we'll typically, when you send your slide with us, if you want an RMR, RMSC, or any kind of cut, just send your optic with it. Because we will fit that slide to that optic. We're not just going to cut an RMR cut or cut an RMSC cut. We are going to cut that slide to that particular optic. So just keep that in mind if you decide to send your slide or have it ported or RMSC card or whatever. Now I'm rambling. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.